Femi Akonde is joining us in Abuja. Femi, what's going on in Abuja? Tell us.
Well, hi. There are a group of protesters here at the Eagle Square. They tried to gain entrance into the Eagle Square earlier, but they were dispersed by the police. The police fired tear gas to disperse them. They have now regrouped, and the Minister of State for Youth is also here trying to talk to them, trying to calm frayed nerves and assure them that indeed the government is listening to them. They have the right to protest, and their demands are being attended to by the government, and just to ensure that this protest remains peaceful. But so far they have also been quite peaceful, but this whole area is well secured because this is close to the three-arm zone. The National Assembly is just directly opposite here. Other national buildings are just around this place. That's why we have seen a strong presence of security operatives around here, trying to ensure that this protest that is peaceful for now does not escalate or snowball into violence. But the Minister of State for Youth is still here, doing his best to see how he can talk to these people to leave this place, because we know that there is already a court injunction or a court order restraining these protesters to the National Stadium, the MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja. A group of protesters are also there, so a lot of people are wondering why these ones around here came to this place knowing fully well that there is a court order barring them from converging here at the Eagle Square. But so far it has been very peaceful. We've been hearing them making chants, some of them calling for an end to the rising inflation, end to hardship, a reversal of some of the government policies that has caused some of these economic hardship that has made life really difficult for a lot of Nigerians. But so far that is the situation here, but it has so far been very peaceful, I must say.
Femi, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask Femi about what's the crowd at the stadium like, and is there plans to move those that are currently around Eagle Square to the stadium so that the protest will be in one place and we can get visuals from that place as well?
Well, I believe that's what the authorities are trying to ensure, that these protesters here move to the National Stadium to gather in one place, join other protesters there, so that the whole protest can be organized and well coordinated and also controlled by security agents. Well, for now we do not know if these people will be dispersed from here forcefully, but the Minister of State for Youth is just trying to ensure that the police does not apply force, because he believes that when the use of force is applied, it would also further incite these protesters, and the situation might degenerate, which is what the government is desperately trying to prevent.
Have you been able to speak to any of the protesters, and what are they saying, and how do you gauge their emotional state right now?
Did you hear that? Femi, did you hear Mariam's question?
Yes, I was saying, have you been able to speak to any of the protesters? Have you been able to talk to any of the protesters yet? And how do you gauge them, emotionally right now? What would you say?
A couple of the protesters here, you can hear them singing "Hungry Day," meaning there is a prevailing hunger in the country caused by what the government says necessary economic reforms. But the government has also made frantic efforts to ensure that it cushions the hardship caused by these economic reforms by disbursing, food items, palliatives, and critical relief materials to states politics, local governments, and other groups to ensure that it gets to the poor and the most vulnerable across the country. All of this was in a bid to stave off this protest. But the people are still out on the streets chanting. You can hear them singing Hungry Day. But the most important thing, and they also acknowledge that they must remain peaceful so as not to incur the wrath of security agents around here, who are also, I would say, also ready to contain any breakdown of law and order.
Femi, there are videos of the Eagle Square right now with smoke and protesters saying they were shot, tear gas canisters were shot at them. Kindly confirm if this is true.
Femi, did you get that? You did mention earlier. So I can't reach Femi. Femi, did you hear Nima? Nima was trying to confirm about the tear gas, which you said earlier, that the police had fired tear gas at the protesters to disperse them towards the Eagle Square. But could you confirm that to us again, just to be clear?
Well, I can hardly hear you. The
noise level is a bit high.
Okay, Femi. So concerning security, how much of security presence is there? Are we seeing police, soldiers? Who is there exactly with the protesters?
Yes, Patrick, please pan. Let our viewers see the presence of security agents here. We have seen a lineup of security vehicles on the road there. There are a couple of them around here at the Eagle Square just to ensure security. Armed to the teeth, some of them with anti-riot gear, tear gas canisters to just ensure that this whole protest that is peaceful now remains peaceful. And just behind, just right there, we can see even an armor tank of the armored personnel carrier of the Nigerian Army just at the entrance leading to the National Assembly to ensure that these protesters are restricted from getting to that area. So there's a heavy presence of security agencies around here to ensure the protest remains peaceful.
Earlier you mentioned that the Minister of Youth was there. Could you tell us what the situation was when,
Came around.
when came around? How the protesters reacted?
Well, the people welcomed him. Yeah, the reception was quite cordial. It's somebody who they already know, who they identify with, and he was here to also identify with them. His presence here also helped calm the situation and control things, and also prevent the police from further firing tear gas to disperse the protesters. It is his presence that has actually helped a great deal to contain this protest, because when the tear gas was fired earlier, a lot of people dispersed, but they now regrouped, and even regrouped in the group of protesters even increased. This protest started with just one person that came here earlier, just chanting end hunger, end bad governance, and suddenly it started to grow. A lot of people joined him after the police fired tear gas, and they dispersed. Words went out that some groups are gathering here at the Eagle Square, and then gradually this protest, the number of protesters started to grow, and so far they are still here. But I must say also that there is also a large presence of police officers here, and well, for now everything is still peaceful. We are even seeing the policemen just chatting with themselves, and just but still on the lookout to ensure that the situation does not go south.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Femi, did you talk to any of the protesters to find out if they are aware that the protests, the court's injunction had said they should be at the stadium, and if they deliberately just wanted to come and show their face at the Eagle Square? And what was the response like when you asked?
Well, I must say that a lot of the people here do not know that there is a court order restraining them to the MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja. A lot of them had anticipated that the protest will hold here at the Eagle Square. The group at the MK Abiola Stadium is the Take It Back movement. They are the ones that have converged at the MK Abiola Stadium. They are more organized and they are more organized, and that particular court injunction was also directed at them and other groups that have been identified by the government. But a lot of these ones are just they are just a loose group of protesters who have just come together here to also state their demands. A lot of them are talking about the issue in the northern part of the country, the incessant bandit attack in some parts of the north, the abductions and just the general insecurity. That has been the major demand they have been advancing here. Look at this banner that they are holding. Look at this banner that they are holding. Look at this banner that they are holding. On the banner, it's Kungiyar Hausawan Nigeria. It means the group of Hausas in Nigeria. They have demands like banditry must be stopped now. Bandits and their sponsors must be punished. Victims of genocide must be compensated. The borders must be open for food to flow, and petrol must be subsidized to less than 300 naira, and dollar must be sold for less than 500 naira. Wow. And with a note of caution there that it is a peaceful protest.
All right, thank you so much, Femi. We'll definitely come back to you once we have more information, but definitely we need to get more correspondents live across the nation to tell us what's going on. I'm going to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll link up with another correspondent. Stay with us. We'll be right back.